There are two games you have to play with Marvel Champions, playing the actual game and then storing it. In this video, we're going to talk about the significantly more complicated of the two. This is how to store Marvel Champions. With over 50 heroes, thousands of cards, tokens, there's a lot of tidbits we need to account for when it comes to storage. And I have done a video on storage before around 2 years ago. If you want to watch it, you can see it here. Young Nelson was so nervous filming that video. It was one of my very first videos, and but we have way more content now. So I needed to change, I've modified, and I figured this was a good time to talk about how I store my Marvel Champions collection now. So let's start out and talk about the BoxBinder storage. This is very similar to how I stored 2 years ago, and it's about how I store cards to optimize deck building. So I'm the type of player who likes to build a deck, play the deck, then deconstruct it so I can build a new one right after I play. I like to build, the number of games I normally play with a single deck on average is close to 1. I really just play one game, deconstruct, build a new one. So that's what I like to do. So the way that I have set up my storage system is to optimize finding cards for specific decks and synergies. And here we go. What we're about to answer the question that I know everybody who's watched the channel has. What are those little dots on the cards for? And those dots are there because I approach storage in a hybrid solution utilizing both a binder to see every single card and then a box to store all the bulk cards. I use a standard 3-ring binder with side-loading pages, and just so you all know, all of the links to what I'm talking about in the video are down below. So if you want to check them out, you absolutely can. And some of them are affiliate links, so if you use the links to buy them, it can help financially support the channel. But these side-loading sheets are actually a change from the last video because these fit sleeved cards really well. In the past, I was actually like taking cards out, re-sleeving them, and then taking the cards out of the sleeve when I put them back in the binder. And that, like, it didn't take a long time, but now that I've played thousands of games, it adds up. The time adds up. And I think that these sheets, one, just are much faster. You don't have to re-sleeve, you can just slide them in and out. I also think they look a little bit cleaner because they're opaque, you can't see through, and it's less busy, and I'm able to focus a little bit better on the cards when I am flipping through. The binder is organized by aspect. Then we have allies, player side schemes, resource cards, kind of in that order, and then we organize them by cost, so ascending cost, because that's how I kind of think about and organize some of the Marvel Champions cards in my head. So this helps me able to see all of my options when I am deck building, but I only keep one card in the binder. So the one card that goes in the binder gets that little dot. So when I'm sorting out, and I put the dot in the bottom right hand corner of the card because that's also where the hero icon is. So I flip my deck around, and when I'm fanning through, I either know that it's going into the box, it's going back with the hero if it has the face, or if it has the dot, it goes back in the binder. So I keep one copy of every single card in there, and then bulk storage for the remainder of the cards. And this is probably the biggest change from the last video. We have so much content now that I have to break the cards up into multiple boxes. And in doing so, I wanted to go with boxes that could fit in a Kallax shelf. That's what's right behind me. Really good to store board games, and honestly, I just buy a ton of these. So I wanted something that could fit in that. And before we show off some of the awesome new boxes I got from One Sharp Joe, we're going to talk about the boring cardboard box I still use for the remainder of the deck building cards. This is a BCW box, and I sort the rest of the cards alphabetically so I can easily find any one I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for a 4 Justice, I've pulled out one copy of a 4 Justice from my binder, and I need 2 more. I can easily navigate to the F section, grab the 4 Justice, and there I go if I have the 3. And if I'm only running like 2 of a card, I will just grab them from the box because then I don't have to worry about putting them back in the binder. I use BCW white dividers, which I can write on so I can divide up the cards and have them customizable. And I do plan on updating this cardboard BCW box to a new box to complement my One Sharp Joe boxes. I just need to order some extra blank dividers, but I want to show off these new boxes, which is where I store my heroes, villains, and modular sets. And One Sharp Joe did send me these boxes for review, so let's talk about them a little bit. I've been using these for a little bit now, and they are very nice. They're very, very premium. I am currently using 3 boxes, one to store heroes, one to store villains, and one to store modular sets. And each one of these boxes are sorted alphabetically so I can easily grab whatever I'm looking for. You'll notice a theme here. I like alphabetical stuff. everything in my life is sorted by alphabetical. One Sharp Joe actually does have custom dividers with the names of every set. So you have modular set dividers, villain set dividers, and then the hero dividers also have this cool picture of the different heroes on them. I'll probably have some B-roll to show that off. And this is where I have to ask everyone, I do want to know, when you store cards in a box, are you on team store cards behind the divider that's associated with the cards, or in front of the divider? Until recently, I was on team and I stored everything where I put cards behind the divider, but I've been trying in front recently, and I think I may be swapping teams. I'm just kind of curious. I think I like the in front of the divider more, but let me know in the comments because I am curious. Where do you store, in front or behind the divider? Anyways, One Sharp Joe has dividers that have the different aspect names, and I know a lot of people do store their cards, their deck building cards per aspect, and so those are options. I do it a little bit differently than I think a lot of people do, and so I'm waiting until I can get some more blank dividers, and so I can sort those cards alphabetical, and we can move all of those into this cool box. The boxes do fit perfectly in a Calyx. The BCW does as well, but what I like about the One Sharp Joe is you can actually fit 4 boxes into one section of a Calyx shelf, so it makes for super compact storage. They come with multiple different lid designs, so you can find exactly what you're looking for, and my favorite one that I have is probably the Thanos box, but I'm curious which one of the 4 that I have that you like the most. Let me know in the comments. And that's how I store my cards for Champions these days, but there's a whole nother side of the game, the token storage. And I have a ton of custom tokens for Marvel Champions and all my other games actually, because I'm a sucker for deluxification of games. But I recently found these token boxes from GameGenic, and I use them for pretty much everything now. The boxes are super modular, so you can rearrange them to make any size of storage that you want, and you can get them for like 15 to 20 bucks. They're very inexpensive. I store all my Champions, Arkham, Lord of the Rings, Earthborn Rangers, Spirit Island, and honestly, I'm probably gonna move even more of my like lifestyle games that I play all the time into these boxes. I've bought a ton of these boxes. I've mixed and matched, and I love these boxes. So you can pop the lid off, you can attach it to the bottom of the box, so if your play space is limited, it can be very compact, it travels super well. And I used to use like this like tackle box, but the GameGenic products are just so much more manageable from a size and a customization front that I've switched pretty much everything to that. And that is an overview on how I store everything that I have for Marvel Champions. Now that we have thousands of cards, it is a undertaking, and I am very curious on if you have a different approach or if you have a unique approach. Let me know in the comments because I love to talk about it, because it's honestly kind of fun. It's like a meta game that you get to play whenever you open up and get into one of these LCGs. But I'm excited to hear what you have to say. I'm curious if you have any thoughts around how I store, because I'm always looking for improvements. My background is in optimization, and so I'm really interested to see if there are new ways that we can make this even better. But thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and until next time, peace.